Presidential Campaign Council of the All Progressives Congress yesterday said its candidate, Bola Tinubu, did not mention, blame, or accuse President Muhammadu Buhari of being responsible for the current challenges in the country. Tinubu had, while speaking at a presidential rally at the MKO Abiola Stadium, Kuto, in Abeokuta, Ogun State, said the lingering fuel crisis and Naira redesign by the Central Bank of Nigeria were part of a plot to thwart his expected victory. In another development, the ruling APC had a depletion after one of the Presidential Campaign Council director, Hajia Najatu Mohammed, a chieftain of the party, resigned. Hours after her resignation, she was seen with Atiku Abubakar, presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, indicating that she had switched camps. However, the APC Presidential Campaign Council has accused Najatu Mohammed, a former chieftain of the party, of being a mole sacked by the APC PCC for incompetence. Joining us now from our Abuja studio is Hajia Maria Ibrahim Baba, a member of the Public Affairs Directorate of the ruling All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council, to discuss the campaign activities of the APC and, in addition, comment and clarify some of the allegations stated yesterday by Najatu Mohammed. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Hajia Mariam Baba. Well, as Ayo pointed out, yesterday we had Hajia Najatu Mohammed here, a former member of your party. And our principal submission was that the candidate of your party, your presidential candidate, is not a fit and proper person to be president of Nigeria. And she said a lot of things that I don't want to repeat on television, because we did that yesterday. What exactly is happening within the party, with persons leaving the party, with members of the party coming out openly to criticize the candidate himself openly criticizing the policies of government?
Good morning, Nigerians. As I was earlier introduced as Mariam, I am Maria Ibrahim Baba. And the issue you have raised about comments of Hajia Najah and other Nigerians, or criticism rather, we are in a democratic dispensation in Nigeria. Nigerians have the right to share, move, participate with people of their choices in different political parties. Criticism that are passed out to the public with good intention, without insults, insinuations, and trying to create disunity among people in Nigeria is not the right way. But criticisms are welcome as long as they are, if they have a good focus. In APC, we don't have any problem. Of course, we have triggers like that of Najah, as you have just mentioned, and she's been on air, and all the points she raised. As a Nigerian, Najatu has the right to move from one party to another. But there are principles in life. Creating false information about individuals, especially people that are already out there that you have identified with in the beginning and accepted to work with. If at a point in your life you discover, as she has mentioned, she was in London and had had about 2-3 hours discussion with our principal, that is our presidential candidate, inshallah, who will emerge by the grace of Allah. She had one-on-one. How many Nigerians have that opportunity? But she had it. She discussed with him, as she claimed, and she assessed him and came to a conclusion that as far as she is concerned, as a Nigerian who has the right to take decisions at any step in her life, discovered that to her, he is not capable for reasons she has given. She mentioned him having dementia. Fine. Then she also said, she categorically asked him, what plans does he have for the North? And he said he has nothing for the North and that he doesn't have a blueprint. Now, on her return to Nigeria with that perception, with that conviction that she does not believe in him anymore, the best thing she would have done is to move to whom she believes without, insulting him publicly in the media, saying all sorts of things, even referring to his medical condition when she doesn't have a medical background, does she? Her assessment is wrong. But then on arrival back to Nigeria, she went ahead. With that decision at the back of her mind, she went back to the office and collected a letter of appointment to serve in the process. And then, of course, money has not been given to anybody. All our supporters, from top right down to the sugarcane seller, they have different ways of contributing. They go to places without demanding for money. We want to divorce ourselves in Nigeria from politics of money. Now, she collected her letter and then went and started. And then suddenly she came up, just a few weeks to the election, and decided to move to another presidential candidate, which we do not see any fault in that. But she should have done it quietly. And she should have also returned whatever benefits she's receiving from being an APC member. She mentioned she's a commissioner in the police affairs. She said that she does not receive any salary, which I will believe her. But I'm sure there are incentives that goes with it, even if you don't receive salary. Okay. So you see, it's unfortunate that you have decided and concluded that the presidential candidate you agreed to work with has dementia. And by the time you came back to Nigeria, you still went ahead to collect a letter to serve under that. Nigerians are not stupid. Oh. Nigerians are aware the politics of 2023 is different from the ones we have had in the past. So it's just a pity. From all indications, she has shot herself on the foot. All right, thank you so much, which is most unfortunate.
Let's move on because we have such a limited time and we want to get through a number of issues, including some of the work that you're doing with the APC. But I'd like you to respond to, the speech by your presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the statement he made at the MKO Stadium in Abeokuta, Ogun State, which your party, through your spokesman, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, has come to refute, or perhaps, shall I say, clarify. What he said is that the president did not, I want to read his statement, as he said it, did not mention, blame, or accuse President Muhammadu Buhari for the current challenges in the country. In fact, he said that the sabotage they were referring to was carried out by some fifth columnists in the system, possibly working in cahoots with the PDP. There are a few concerns around this statement, because what he was saying was that the candidate was trying to let the federal government know what is happening and who are the detractors. Number one is that the president, whom is under the APC, is the Minister of Petroleum, therefore has oversight of that industry. If he's saying that the PDP is responsible, along with some other elements, for the lingering fuel scarcity in the country today, is he saying that the Minister of Petroleum is not able to handle his ministry?
My dear, in Nigeria, we don't believe in clean competition, unfortunately. And these are the areas we need to change if we want our country to forge forward. We should give room for clean competition. You go out on the field with a free, fair grounds for everybody. Go and compete. You win, you win. You don't win, you go. There's another time coming. But we always go by creating stories. My face could be removed and somebody else's face could be put on my head. This is the modern generation. We have all this social media. They can do a lot. Our principal, our presidential candidate, Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, did not say all those words people were now claiming he did. He didn't say it. And the issue of petrol shortage in Nigeria is not new. We have had it a lot in the past. In fact, worse situations. Things have improved. Last year, we had Christmas celebrations, and every filling station is free. We have fuel. We move around. There was no problem. These hitches come from time to time. And if it unfortunately comes at a time when your enemies will use it against you, which is unfortunate, the petrol issue is not a deliberate thing by anybody. We did not say anything. We have taken it in good faith. You as a person, you can walk, you have eyes, you can see, and then you go and hit your leg and have a fractured bone. So what happens after that? You go and get treatment. But so let us really look at situations fairly and without being, emotional or try to be pulling down syndrome. This issue of petrol is not new in Nigeria. We've had serious issues in the past. It has improved with the coming on board of President Muhammadu Buhari, and he's doing his best. A human being can never be 100%, but at least he has scored over 90%.
Okay.
So our opponents are cooking stories and putting them around. They are not authentic at all. They are all false.
Okay. Hajia, see, you had a right to reply, but I thought you were going to reply, but you've just only made one point. And I would like to, because she said a lot yesterday. She talked about the health of your candidate. You mentioned that she was talking about the health. Is there anything wrong with your candidate? What's the medical record like of your presidential candidate? Have you met him? What is it like? No, hang on a minute. Let me finish. Ajia, I'm asking a question.
Okay.
Ajia, just proportion, s'il vous plaît.
Yeah.
Secondly, I'd like to also ask that they said houses were bought for some people to be able to join the campaign, because she made a lot of allegations. Secondly, do you know anything of such?
Excuse me, the sentence is not clear. What did you say at the beginning?
Ajia, she said a house was bought for somebody to be able to join the campaign. What's your take on that? Thirdly, she also said that, there's a lot of sycophancy around. And based on what was said in Abeokuta, Ajia, do you understand the Yoruba that was spoken there? Because now you are saying nothing of such was said. Do you understand the meaning of... Yoruba, very good. Moni, share more meaning... Dear, okay. Moni, do you understand the meaning of Wogbowo Pamo, Wogbe Naira Pamo? Do you understand the meaning of that? And do you understand that that's an allusion to...
Naira Pamo.
Wogbowo Pamo.
They use money to quench fire?
No. Obviously, you don't understand the Yoruba. What it means is that they've hidden Naira. And that's an allusion to the CBN policy supported by the president of the country. So these are the issues on ground. So it's obvious you didn't even understand the Yoruba he was speaking there. And probably you've not been interpreted to you. So those are the points on ground. Let's deal with the issues in all of this. What's the health condition of your candidate, like she mentioned?
Okay, fine.
Yes.
The condition of my candidate is excellent. If you watch all the presidential candidates that are vying for the same position, and you compare with our candidate, I mean, where hasn't he been in? He hasn't sat for a day. He's moving from pillar to post, discussing with people, meeting people, finding out what they need, their problems and all that. So our candidate is in a very good condition to take up that office. I can assure you for that. Secondly, I will advise our media houses to please engage in investigative journalism. When anybody comes on air or to your studio and make any proclamations, make any comments, please, you need to really go out and do investigative journalism so that you come out with the facts before you now put it up out in the public. And this issue of sycophancy, well, I don't know. It depends on what you really mean by sycophancy. It has a broad spectrum. But I believe, and I'm part of the team, I am telling Nigerians that with our principal, he has proven it in the past. His antecedents when he was in Lagos, he has brought many people on board based on merit. So he goes out there to pick people based on merit so that they can come on board and work with him and forge this country forward. This country belongs to all of us. So sitting there somewhere and creating stories just to tarnish the image of somebody, I think it is wrong. We should stop. We should desist from that. Hidden agenda. Well, hidden naira, as you said. I don't know about that. I've been in the political field for quite a while now. Nobody has given me a dime. And most of the work I do, I am doing it because I believe in my candidate. I believe in him, and I know when he gets there, he will do the right thing. And about his blueprint, the blueprint is ready. It's out there in the public domain. It took time to bring it together, and he has done a very good job, and it's out there. You can find out and get a copy. If you don't have one, I can bring you one, so that you go through and see his own blueprint. We don't compare ourselves with other aspirants. Everybody should go out there and do the needful. And then we go out to the field. And then Nigerians will now decide who they want to be there. But I am assuring Nigerians that, and I'm assuring you as well that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is really ready to go. And he will, inshallah.
Ajia, what do you think of this general perception or assumption that your candidate is not getting enough support from President Muhammadu Buhari? Yes, he has showed up at about 3 campaign rallies. The last one in Bauchi, where he did not even make any statement. But there's this perception that there's no enthusiasm from the villa, which is APC occupied at the moment, either from the president or even the vice president. What do you think of that? And then secondly, what are your concerns, if you have any, about the fact that people can't get PVC, and yet INEC tells us they are ready? If people don't have PVCs, and in a report that we considered this morning, prepared by a group of civil society organizations, we're told that voter suppression should be expected in about 32 states. If we have voter suppression in 32 states, what will be the quality of turnout?
Now, let's take the issue of Buhari, the president. The president is still the president of Nigeria, and he has work to do. And if you notice, he has already identified with a spread where he will accompany our candidate as support to show Nigerians that he is with our candidate. And he has been to other places. Even when we flagged off our campaign in Jos, he was there. He's going to be in Katsina very soon. He's been in other places. There are many more places he will go to. But as the sitting president, you don't expect the sitting president, when he has work to do, to leave office for the whole campaign period and start going out to campaigns. It doesn't make sense. He has to divide his time into these 2 very, very important areas. As the president, he has to attend to his duties. And then, of course, he has accompanied our candidate, and he will still continue until we get to the election period. I mean, the election day. That's that. And then about concern about PVC. INEC has done well. They have extended time. They've given it open. Up to this moment, people are still collecting their PVC. And we in APC have designed a chart whereby all stakeholders are back to their states. You don't run election in Abuja. I am in Kano. I have been in Kano. I only came here day before yesterday, and I'm leaving tomorrow. So in my state, we have 44 local governments. We've been working with NGO. We have the state ESCO of our party. And then we have ICC. Recently, our coordinator has been appointed, General Lawal Jafaru Isa, because he has all it takes. the organizational, because if anybody you put in a leadership position does not have the idea of organization, then we are going to have problem. He is the best, and he has already started. I've attended most meetings that he has called, and we are on field. Now, every person goes back to their local government, and from the state, local government, to our councils, right to the voting boxes, we have members of our party that are there. And also, we have adopted another method whereby, women have responsibilities. A mother, a wife, and then she can't leave home. So what we do now, we go to rural areas. In all this, in fact, I am from Kano, so I'll talk for Kano. My other colleagues, we are comparing notes from time to time. We go house to house, door to door, to talk to these women, to make sure that they have their PVC and they go out to vote, and we educate them. So, I mean, we are not doing badly at all. We are doing well. So our opponents should not waste their time in attacking us. We don't have time to attack our opponents. We are focused. We have a mandate, we have duties, and we want to bring in the president of Nigeria. So we have work to do. So we're not going to burn our energy in trying to go and start fighting people. No. We are not. We don't fall in that category.
Very quickly.
So we are working.
Yes, very quickly, because we're running out of time. The first thing I wanted to just speak to you with regards to your statement around the president being too busy. Would you not say the same thing about other state actors? For instance, the Minister of State for Employment, Mr. Festus Keyamo, has been on the campaign trail and even serves on the PCC. That's Mr. Festus Keyamo. Can you hear us?
You see, I didn't get your question.
So I'm talking about the busyness of Mr. President. And others have called also that Mr. Festus Keyamo, who is a serving Minister of State, has been able to find time. I know obviously his workload cannot be compared to the president, but at least has been able to find time to not just follow the presidential candidate to different places, but speak on his behalf, tweet, and in fact, people have asked if he's still able to manage his, what he's being paid for as a Minister of State. So and then also with regards to the president's performance, I'd like you to assess it, because you're asking us to vote for the APC for another term, and people have said, well, the APC, under the APC's government, we're currently, even though you say the PDP is responsible for the fuel queues, but we have a lingering fuel crisis. We have debts, the possibility of 77 trillion naira debts being inherited by the next, president. Why should we vote the APC?
Can I talk now?
Yes, please.
Are you good? Now let's talk about the president being busy. I mean, of course, every president is busy, but then there's something we call division of labor. That is why you even have deputies. You have people to support you here and there. The president cannot do everything himself. So he assigns certain things that others can do. We operate with division of labor. So the president, of course, is busy with his office, but that will not bar him from going out to support us in the field when we are going for presidential campaign. He has done that, and he will continue doing it until the end of the elections. Now, let's talk about Festus. Of course, Festus has his chambers. He has his chambers. He's the minister. Yes, and then he has an appointment now with APC. I, Maria Ibrahim Baba, I'm self-employed. I have time. That is why I was co-opted into this section of under Festus. There are assignments that are assigned to me, which is one today I'm handling, and there are many others. So you see, the fact that somebody has an office that he's running doesn't mean he will sit there 24/7. He will delegate. He will give duties to people. One hand does not carry a house. And when they go and deliver, of course, he will get the credit. So Festus is doing his best, and he's sharing his time logically to areas. And anytime he sees an area that needs more attention, he attends to it. So please, let us be fair. Let us not be judgmental. He who wears the shoes knows where the shoes pinches. So all the officers that were appointed and placed in places, you now mentioned Festus in particular. Festus is doing a very good job. Otherwise, he wouldn't have sent me here to come and handle this. So please, my dear, my prayer for Nigeria is that we become focused and cast our vote for our candidates so that Nigeria will be a better place for all of us. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Ajia Maria, for joining us on the morning show.